Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'd like to start by accepting the committee suggested amendments, and thank your staff. SB 393 establishes a uniform legal process for sealing records of arrest that did not result in a conviction. Arrest records that are not sealed can be costly and life-changing. Studies have found that 40% of men and 20% of women were likely to be arrested before the age of 23, yet 47% were never convicted. Law enforcement will continue to have access to complete arrest records even in the cases that did not lead into a conviction. Current law prohibits employers from asking applicants about prior arrest records that did not lead to convictions. However, consumer reporting agencies and major corporations routinely report arrest records in background checks, and they can negatively impact job applications for decades. Many people find themselves trapped in this paper prison in which they are denied employment and housing due to the arrest records that again did not result in any conviction. With the rapid technological advances, government information is compiled into databases and utilized by consumer report agencies. This makes it easier for employers, landlords, and others to base decisions on arrest rather than a conviction. Many individuals who are arrested are never charged. Sometimes their cases are charged but later dismissed or can be acquitted by a jury. By removing arrest records, records of arrest for those who were never convicted of a crime, we can remove barriers that are holding back Californians from employment and housing opportunities. With me in support is San Francisco District Attorney George Gascon. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Lara, for authoring this bill. I'm pleased to say that I sponsor this bill, and for all the reasons that were stated earlier. Basically, SB 393 will do two very important things. Number one, it creates an accessible path to record sealing for individuals whose record does not result in a conviction. And number two, and very important, it provides a uniform legal standard for keeping sealed arrest records outside from the public sphere. Today, we have a situation where even when judges order an arrest record to be sealed, current law there are inconsistencies on the standards for sealing those records, and the information still makes it in the public ways, impacting severely individuals that were not given their due process. For those reasons, we ask for your support.
Thank you. Any other witnesses? Okay. Any other witnesses in support? Name and organization.
Diana Campos, representing the California Catholic Conference, in support.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Craig DeLuz on behalf of the Firearms Policy Coalition. Just to make one note, everything that the senator said relating to jobs, relating to employment and housing also relates to the ability to be able to purchase a firearm. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mel Ostergaard on behalf of Compton Unified School District in strong support.
Thank you.
Jamie Katz with the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights in support.
Thank you.
Melissa Moll on behalf of Mayor Edwin Lee and the City and County of San Francisco, in support.
Thank you.
So Wyatt Seam on behalf of the California Public Defenders Association and Public Interest Advocacy, in support.
Thank you.
Gloria with the Youth Justice Coalition, in strong support.
Nicole Arnaiz with the Hernandez Strategy Group on behalf of the California Attorneys for Criminal Justice, in support. Thank you.
Maureen Washburn with the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice, in strong support.
Vanessa De Leon with the Youth Justice Coalition, in strong support.
Rosa Akil on behalf of the Alliance for Boys and Men of Color and Policy Link, in support.
Maddie Hyatt for California Civil Liberties Advocacy, in strong support.
Rebecca Gonzalez, National Association of Social Workers, California, chapter, in support.
Lizzie Buchan with the ACLU of California, in support.
Glenn Backus, Ella Baker Center for Human Rights and Drug Policy Alliance, in support.
Jackie Wong with the National Center for Youth Law, in support.
Thank you. Any witnesses in opposition?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Randy Pollock on behalf of the Consumer Data Industry Association. We support the intent of this bill, but we have suggested some amendments to the senator to try to improve it, to make it workable. We believe that several provisions of the bill that's highlighted in the analysis may be preempted by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There's a definition of what an arrest record would be. For example, we are also concerned that the way the bill is set up, that if an arrest record is sealed, we are now responsible for providing that information to everybody we have submitted a report to before. Now, how long back do you go for? How do you submit a report to someone where that individual may no longer be hired there, may never have been hired in the first place? So we're trying to work through those issues. Another major issue that we see is that we are required, a consumer reporting agency, to obtain records on a weekly basis. I think we could probably all agree that the court system in California is probably not set up for us to be able to obtain records on a weekly basis. What we have suggested is, before we would use the report for a permissible purpose, that the Consumer Reporting Agency would verify that information with the jurisdiction. We believe that is the best way to go about doing that. We also believe that that it's important that when we look at these arrest records, that we have to make sure that it's compiled in a way that we're able to identify it. So we have to make sure that when we receive information from the court system, that we can make sure it matches up with that individual. For example, if you give the name John Smith, that's probably not enough information for us. So that's also some other issues that we need to work through. Finally, I'll just add that we also believe that we need to redefine what is a consumer reporting agency in the bill. We believe it does not conform with the federal law. We continue to work with the senator on this. Hopefully we should be able to reach some sort of compromise, we believe, and look forward to hearing this next week in Judiciary, and hopefully we'll have it fixed by then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other in opposition? Seeing none. Are there any questions from committee members? Seeing none. Ms. Lara, you may close, and in your close, if you want to just address.
Thank you. Yes, we are taking the time to look at the amendments that are suggested, my office and the sponsor's office, and we think we can reach some sort of compromise, so we're going to continue to do our due diligence and hopefully reach an agreement when it goes to Judiciary Committee.
Perfect. Chairs need a motion. With that, the chair's recommending aye vote. Madam Secretary, take the roll.
The motion is do pass as amended to the Judiciary Committee on SB 393. Jones Sawyer.
Aye.
Jones Sawyer, aye. Lackey.
Aye.
Lackey, aye. Flora. Flora, aye. Gonzalez Fletcher. Gonzalez Fletcher, aye. Rubio. Santiago. Santiago, aye.
That measure passes.